When a group of people are arguing endlessly about the current problem in the meeting room, there is always a figure in the corner observing silently. Their eyes seem to penetrate the current noise and land on a certain node in 5 years. When asked for their opinion, they will put forward a logically rigorous framework, from the analysis of the current situation to the risk prediction, from the execution path to the alternative plan, which is as clear as a script written in advance. This is INTJ, the strategist type, accounting for less than 5% in the MBTI personality spectrum. They are born system builders, using intuition to insight into trends, using thinking to plan the overall situation, operating like a precision Swiss watch, but hiding the ambition to transform the world under the calm appearance. From Zhuge Liang's Longzhong plan to Musk's Mars plan, INTJ have left many subversive marks in history with the double weapons of foresight execution. The core driving force of INTJ is the extreme pursuit of system integrity. As the type dominated by introverted intuition, they can quickly capture the essence from fragmented information. Just like seeing the complete pattern at a glance in a messy puzzle, when seeing the congested traffic in the city, ordinary people complain about the road conditions. But INTJ will think about the underlying logic defects of urban road network planning. When hearing the discussion on educational anxiety, they focus on the mismatch between the current evaluation system and the needs of the future society. This kind of jumping thinking from phenomenon to essence makes them born prophets, but it is not so much prophecy as accurate deduction, based on deep laws. Extroverted thinking, T is the execution engine of INTJ. If Ni is responsible for seeing the end point, T is responsible for building the bridge. They will disassemble the grand vision into executable steps, with each link marked with key nodes and measurement standards. An INTJ project manager, when starting a project, will not only formulate a Gantt chart, but also attach a risk-response matrix for each possible problem. List 3-level response plans. This habit of preparing for everything allows them to always maintain control in chaos. Just like Dumbledore in Harry Potter, behind the seemingly casual arrangements, there is actually a long-term layout for the pattern of the entire magic world. INTJ have an instinctive rejection of inefficiency. They are disgusted with meaningless chats, redundant processes, and emotional decisions, thinking that these are a waste of cognitive resources. In team cooperation, they will directly point out logical loopholes, even if the tone sounds a little sharp, not intentionally offensive, but default that pursuing the truth is more important than maintaining relationships. This reason-first attitude makes them stand out in their student days. They may skip the teacher's blackboard writing and directly study the logical structure of the textbook. In group assignments, they often finish all the work alone, because teammates can't keep up with the train of thought. In social occasions, INTJ are more like anthropologists than participants. They will observe the power relations in the dialogue and the motives behind the language, but rarely take the initiative to join the chat. For them, socializing needs a clear purpose, whether it is exchanging information, establishing cooperation, or expanding cognition. Aimless parties will make them feel exhausted, just like a mobile phone running too many programs in the background. An INTJ describes socializing like this: it's like attending a meeting that needs real time. Translation: others are enjoying the communication, while I'm decoding the information. INTJ's friendship follows the principle of quality GT quantity. They may not have a large social circle, but each close friend has gone through in-depth screening. Either they can have equal dialogue with them intellectually, or they can resonate with them in values. They hate hypocritical greetings, but will show amazing candor to the people they trust. When friends are in trouble, INTJ will not say "don't be sad," but take out a list of solutions. The core of the problem is A. You can try methods B and C. I have checked the relevant resources for you. This kind of action-oriented care is often misunderstood as indifference, but in fact, it is their unique way of expressing support. They have a very low tolerance for foolishness. If the other party is logically confused but stubborn, or repeatedly emphasizes personal emotions rather than facts, INTJ will quickly terminate the dialogue, not out of arrogance, but unwilling to consume energy in low-value interactions. But this does not mean that they are stubborn. They will readily accept, and even take the initiative to ask for advice on different views with basis. An INTJ scholar said, "I appreciate those who can overthrow my conclusions most, because it means that my cognitive system can be upgraded again." INTJ's career choices often point to fields that can build systems, work that requires long-term layout, such as scientific research, strategic planning, architectural design, and high-level management, can give full play to their talents. They are not satisfied with completing tasks, but pursue establishing standards, just like Jobs not only launched the iPhone, but also reshaped the entire ecosystem of smartphones. At work, they are typical result-oriented people. Emotional fluctuations in the process are meaningless to them, and only the achievement of goals can bring satisfaction. Perfectionism is a double-edged sword for INTJ. They will polish a detail repeatedly until it meets their inner standards. An INTJ designer once spent hours testing the visual balance to adjust the position of an icon on a poster. An INTJ teacher will mark this case is best inserted at the H minute in the lesson preparation notes. This extreme pursuit can produce excellent results, but it may also lead to procrastination. If they can't reach the ideal state, they would rather put it aside temporarily. In intimate relationships, INTJ seeks spiritual allies. They don't like superficial romance, but care more about whether their partners can understand their long-term plans. For INTJ, the best love is coevolution, just like the Curies supporting each other in the laboratory. Being both lovers and career partners, they may not speak sweet words, but will express their love with actions. Remember the goals you casually mentioned, and silently help you collect relevant information when you are confused. Help you sort out your thoughts with clear analysis. This kind of pragmatic deep affection needs to be understood to be cherished. The biggest misunderstanding of INTJ is equating independence with loneliness. In fact, INTJ do not hate crowds, but do not need to gain energy through socializing. They can show excellent social skills when necessary, but this is more like a kind of role-playing using T function to simulate behaviors that conform to the scene, while keeping a clear sense of detachment in their hearts. Just like Sherlock Holmes in Sherlock, he can cooperate with Watson tacitly when solving cases, but return to the state of solitude immediately after the case is over. Another common prejudice is that INTJ are cold and unfeeling. In fact, they are not without emotions, but are used to packaging emotions with reason. When a major crisis occurs, INTJ will first deal with the problem, then deal with the feelings. Not that they are not sad, but that they think indulging in emotions is not helpful to solve the problem. In post-disaster reconstruction, INTJ are often the first to come up with a plan. Their calmness is not indifference, but restraint driven by a sense of responsibility. If you have an INTJ around you, you will find that they are like a book that needs in-depth reading, obscure at first glance, but full of wisdom when tasted carefully. They may not remember your birthday, but will give advice that changes the trajectory at the key node of your life. They may refuse to attend your party, but will help you improve your business plan when you start a business. The existence of INTJ reminds us that the world not only needs enthusiastic connectors, but also calm architects. In this rapidly changing era, we need to embrace the temperature of the present, but also look up to the distance that INTJ have already seen.